And get something good off the glass. Looked for a moment like he might turn it over.
Yeah, he did. But, you got to fault his aggression and his intensity. There he is again.
With the steal, this could get it to single figures here. Middleton off the glass, and with 3:22 to go, the Worcester Wolves have cut this back to only 8 points, 70 to 78.
You never know how games are going to go, and you know, you can't discount anyone in a basketball game. You know, the game's not done until it's done, and right now Worcester's proven that point to be so true, and they've been able to pull it back to a 10-point game.
Well, Paul James here going into the timeout that was called by Fab Flanoy, and with 3:22 to go, 8 points is very doable here, and they've just got to believe, and you know, that up-court defense there just got them a steal, a bit more of that.
Oh yeah, definitely so. You know, like I said, I think Paul James is doing a good job of keeping his guys in tune with what's going on. Not worrying about the score as such, but more so just playing your basketball game and being aggressive. And I think that's carried them, and I think they've done a good job to get back into the game, and they've kind of proved me wrong. I've kind of, it seems like I've, and commentating this game, have kind of written them off for this game, but you know, they pulled their way back into it, so credit goes to Paul James and Worcester Wolves.
Well, you and me both, I think. It seemed there for much of that third quarter and into the fourth as if this was going to be a comfortable home victory, but with 3:22, it's still in the balance here at Sports Central.
It's probably in the best scenario for Fab Flournoy right now with his health and other things for them to come back in a game like this. We'll see how they respond coming out of this timeout.
Well, he was certainly more animated in that timeout than he was earlier in the game. And again, this little zone press. Newcastle get it across the line and in the hands of Trey Moore. Jackson. Smith penetrates through, is blocked and fouled by Cricelli, and that's one of them where he gets a piece of the ball, but he's probably got some arm along there as well.
Yeah, he may have got the arm on that. We'd have to see a replay to see how that one panned out. That's a tough one right there. That's kind of what I saw initially. You know, it looked like a good, clean block to me, but, you know, that's a veteran call for a veteran player.
And the worst thing about it is that is his fifth and final foul, and Cricelli with 21 points, 13 rebounds, 10 of 18 shooting. He's been their most effective player. He has to sit down for the last 3 minutes.
I think he's really been the driving force for Worcester tonight. I think he's kept them in the game even when they had a big deficit to overcome, and then with the comeback, he's definitely been pivotal in that. So it'll be a definite blow for Worcester with Cricelli on the bench.
Charles Smith makes the first. This will stretch it back out to 10. That's exactly what he does. Well, Cricelli fouled out. Let's have one last little look at this fifth foul. Oh,
yeah, no, that's a big call right there.
Yeah,
you know, that's a big call, considering where the game is right now and how things are going for him. And then for the heart of their team for tonight, you know, for that to be his fifth foul, that hurt him.
Well, I must admit, in real time, I thought he might have got him on the arm, but having watched the two replays, I'm dissuaded from that opinion.
Definitely.
Although the officials don't get the beauty of the replay like we do.
No, they don't. They don't. You got to give them the benefit on that one. You know, they got to make a call as they see it. But you know, the thing to it is that if you're aggressive going to the basket, it takes the pressure off of yourself and puts it on those officials.
Yeah.
Either they're gonna call it or they're not. So it's a good gamble to take.
Dobbins at the foul line only makes one. 9 points between the sides.
Still single digits to go. 2:45 to go in the game. Worcester definitely aren't out of it, but it's important that they can string together a group of stops right here.
Moore off that big high screen from Richard. In the corner is Bridge for three. That's too long. And Worcester come down with it. Chance to cut it. Oh no, Reggie Jackson with the quick steal. Moore's ahead of him. And both Middleton and Creppy pointed to Moore. and neither of them went and defended it.
Yeah, they did. That was an unfortunate situation. I think Crepey came down the floor. It was Middleton, and didn't see Jackson coming from behind. You know, that's a big mistake. I mean, a big error that you know, I'm sure it wouldn't have been like that if they could change it.
Bridge, with the good help, knocked that ball loose, and Newcastle's lead is 11 inside the final 2 minutes here. And again, they go with this screen, and Zimmerkas comes up and bumps Trey Moore, and they're over the limit, so Moore will go to the line for 2.
It's a good job. That's that European head flop right there by Trey Moore to draw the foul, put that pressure on the referee. If he doesn't call it, he still has control of the ball, but it's a good veteran move right there.
Paul James with his last roll of the dice here. He's called a timeout. His team 82-71 behind, 1:52 to go. And here's that steal. Just didn't see him. Middleton came up from behind, and then both the guys, look, point over, nobody went and got him.
Nobody went, you know, and like I said, I think it was a surprise for everybody on the play, and you know, situations like that, it's not much you can do to get back. There's no point in going back. If they would have went back and tried to contest it and fouled, it's a possibility it could have been unsportsmanlike. So it's one of those things you got to just let go.
But Paul James and his team, they're going to need some threes here. They're running out of time. They're still 11 down. Moore's on the line shooting 2. It could be 13. They're going to need some threes, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to try to be aggressive offensively, get quick baskets. I'm sure Newcastle are going to try to manage this clock as much as possible. You'll see a lot of pick and rolls with Trey Moore and either Darius Defoe or Kadiri Richards. Trey Moore will run the clock down to under 10 seconds. Kadiri will come out, set a high pick and roll, and let Trey Moore make a play, which he's normally doing.
Well, Paul James in discussion with the official. Certainly, I would imagine he's making the case on Cricelli's 5th foul, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that was a crucial point in the game right there when that foul, not only for the foul for Cricelli, but to put Newcastle at the line. I think that really separated the sway of the game.
Trey Moore misses the second foul shot. He's normally an impeccable foul shooter. He hasn't quite hit the heights this year as he would normally expect.
Yeah,
but he's still a great foul shooter.
Oh yeah, definitely so. And if the game is on the line, that's the guy you want to at the free throw line for sure.
Zimmerkas with the rebound, goes back up, gets his own rebound, and Richard chasing a block, and I think it's going to be a foul on him. Yes, it is.
It's a good job as Nicholas staying tenacious on the glass. You know, he didn't get the first one, he followed it up, and something good came out of it.
It was a tough pick for MVP today. Trey Moore, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Charles Smith, 21 points, 5 boards, shot well from the 3-point line. Jackson's played well. Kadiri Richards done a great job. Who do you think shaded it?
Well, you know, the thing is, you know, Trey Moore and Charles Smith, they consistently do that. You know, they consistently do what they're supposed to do as far as the stat lines are concerned. But I think Kadiri Richards really made a big difference in this game today. I give him my MVP just because of the impact he's made defensively, energy-wise, being able to lock down the middle of the floor, almost make Worcester's inside presence non-existent tonight. I think that was crucial for him.
Yeah, I agree. He is our MVP of the day, Kadiri Richard. Oh, what a block from Trey Moore, and they will run it back with Jackson. And Trey Moore, I think, has he hurt himself? He's a bit slow to his feet, but what a tremendous block. You'd almost expect Kadiri Richard to have done that one, and Trey Moore's still not off his feet.
Trey Moore's a great shot blocker. You know, I think that's something that a lot of people do not associate with Trey, but especially in transition, he's good at running guys down and getting blocking shots from behind. He's got a long wingspan, allows him able to, and he can jump, so it allows him able to be a good shot blocker.
Well, it's worth another look on this one. See, it looked like a fast break. Here comes Moore lining him up. He was sizing him up on that, and then good outlet pass from Richard and Reggie Jackson. It's called for the runs for the lay-in.
Time and time again, Trey Morris has really showed his heart, especially when his team needs a score or a defensive stop, whatever situation is. Trey Moore has always been that guy to step up and do a good job, and that's why he is what he is in this league, and he's got the reputation he has.
And Moore will probably end up with 30 at this rate. 30, and he gets another rebound in there. He might even get 30 and 10. Creppy has it. Time running down here on a Newcastle Eagles victory. It looked like it was always going to be. Worcester made a little charge here in the fourth just to give Newcastle something to think about, but they couldn't sustain that charge.
That's true. I mean, I think you got to give credit to Worcester tonight. They could have easily put their heads down a long time earlier into the game, but they fought back into it. They made a game out of it and made us second guess ourselves. So you got to give credit to them for that. But Newcastle was just a little bit too much for them to handle.
Well, fans on their feet applauding the victory as time ticks down. Final 10 seconds of the game. Great layup from Jackson to get the final score for Newcastle. And they'll just inbound it and let time tick down. And a very, very good performance from the Newcastle Eagles. They started out, they got themselves a lead. They were up 20. They always looked in control of this game.
Yeah, they did. They had control. I think they were the more aggressive team from the start all the way through the finish. Yeah, they had the little niggles along the way, but you got to give credit to Newcastle for sustaining the intensity that they needed for the full 40 minutes and able to come out with the win tonight.
Trey Moore with the big night offensively as usual, but Fab Flanoy and his men go marching on in search of their fourth consecutive title. Can they do it? We'll have to wait and see, but they've certainly got another good victory on the way here. It's finished at Sports Central. Newcastle Eagles 89, the Worcester Wolves 77. Well, first off, Fab, how are you feeling?
A lot better. I mean, a lot better than what I was a couple of weeks ago. So that's good, me being on the sideline. Although my assistant coach, has made it very difficult, a very hard act for me to follow.
Yeah, I mean, he's kept you top of the table, and another good performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing pretty good. Not as consistent as I like, especially on the defensive end. Offensively, we have good players, and everybody knows it. With Trey, Chuck, Reggie, Bridgie, and and KD's been playing really well. So it's never going to be a problem offensively. It's always going to be a problem that we have to address is defense. Are we going to come out and are we going to play defense? We
like the job that Richard did, blocking those shots, grabbing some rebounds inside. I thought he played really well today.
I mean, KD's turned it on since January, since the Christmas break. I mean, he's been really phenomenal in one way because he's the energy, the rebound, and his blocks per minute, his rebounds per minute. It really given us that extra little lift, and I think this is a point in time in the season. Everyone knows who's going to score a lot of the points for every team, everyone's starters. It's all about your supporting cast. This is the time of the year that the supporting cast becomes very important, very monumental. It's very important to the teams because without the supporting cast, who knows what the team is going to do.
And just finally, were you a bit worried down the stretch when they got it back to single figures?
Yeah, I mean, Paul James is a great coach. His teams is never going to be out of it, especially the way that they shoot the ball. So I was a bit worried about it because we weren't. You're just not going to put them away. They were going to hang around, and that would be the theory, just to hang around, just to get close. And if you get in striking distance, to try and take the game because. Truth be told, that's our MO. In the games that we lost, that's basically what happened. Obviously, the game against Merseyside, we just let them hang around. We never put the game away. So we need to start putting basketball games away. We do that, and hopefully, we have a great chance at the league.
Well, PJ, before the game, we were talking about what great form you were in. How do you explain a performance like that?
I think we left our form back in Worcester, but. I don't know. I think, there's one very good team out there in Newcastle and two very poor teams out there.
And you guys couldn't put the ball in the basket in that first half and just got behind.
No, our execution was really poor. It wasn't slick. We weren't setting any screens. We were very slow passing the ball was on the floor too much. I mean, just lots of things that we haven't been doing of late. So I don't know, maybe the occasion got to them.
And in the fourth quarter, it looked at the start like the game was way away from you, but you did rally and get it back into single figures.
Yeah, we did. We put on a little bit of a press and went to a bit of zone for a little bit, and got multiple stops, which helped. But the game was already lost by then. We too much to catch up on.
And how does this affect your playoff chances?
Well, I mean, as I said before, I think we had to win 3 out of the 5. We now have to win 3 out of 4.
Well, an excellent performance by yourself. We thought you were the real driving force behind the defense.
All right, thank you. Well, that's what I pride myself in. That's what I was brought in to do. I was leading shot blocker last year. I like to get in there and alter shots. If I can't block, at least I like to challenge and alter it, make it a tougher shot.
You guys did a really good job of locking them down in the first half and built yourself a nice lead.
Well, for all week long in practice, we've really been practicing on the screen and roll, the pop and pick, because Watts is a good shooter. So we really keyed on Monday and Tuesday, really focusing on the screen and making sure we showed and got back and the rotation and everything. So a week's work of preparation led to the results tonight.
And you guys got up 20 points in the second half. Did you take your foot off the gas a little bit in the fourth?
They're a quality team. They're fighting to make the playoffs. So, they made a good run, and we countered it and, stayed with them and everything. So we just got back in our defensive principles and made sure we rotated correctly and made sure we limit Watts and Creppy's shot and their movement off the ball, and Middleton also.
And you guys top of the league. Can you stay there to the end of the season?
That's what we're trying to do. We practice well during the week, and it leads to good results on the weekend.
Let's recap on all the results in the BBL this weekend. Friday night saw 3 comfortable wins for title-chasing sides, as well as our main game, Mersey beat Worthing and Sheffield knocked off Leicester. On to Saturday's action, and the Tigers recorded back-to-back wins with a big victory in Southend. Sheffield posted a thrilling 92-93 overtime success at Guildford, and there was drama in Leicester as well, where the Riders edged the Raiders by 2. Sunday saw a second defeat of the weekend for the Heat as Cheshire continued their title push. Plymouth bounced back to record a vital 93-87 success north of the border, whilst another overtime game took place at Worthing, the Thunder beating the Lions by 2 in that one. Here's how the action impacts on the BBL Championship table, and with less than a month to go in the regular season, how about that at the top? No fewer than 4 teams tied on 34 points. Newcastle and Mersey lead the way from Cheshire and Sheffield, who both played 2 extra games. Glasgow look out of title contention now. Worcester hanging on in 6th, but the teams below them have all played fewer games. Leicester and Plymouth are level in 7th, whilst Guildford fall below the line on games played. Milton Keynes need to refine their winning form if they're to get in the mix, whilst Worthing recorded a 3rd win of the season. Just before we go, some great news for British basketball on Sunday, with FIBA's Central Board voting to grant both the men's and women's national teams automatic places for the 2012 Olympics. So both GB teams will be in action in London next summer. Well, a great victory for Newcastle here at Sports Central, and our coverage continues next week when you can see the Heat take on the Glasgow Rocks. Sterling's promised us a great game, so don't miss out. That's Guildford Heat versus Glasgow Rocks, Tuesday, 22nd of March, Sky Sports 3 at 8:30 p.m. We hope you enjoyed our coverage today. We'll see you again next week. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.